Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Weekly. It's January 13th, 2025, and we've got a ton to cover this week. From new government regulations to some pretty interesting product launches, and even some bold predictions about the future of AI.
Yeah, it's been a busy week in the AI world, that's for sure. We've got news from Google, Nvidia, Samsung, even X Corp. Oh, and some pretty eyebrow-raising statements from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman.
Let's jump right in. First up, we've got the Biden administration making some waves with new rules that limit the export of AI chips. These restrictions, well, they apply to most countries, with the exception of the U.S. and 18 close allies.
Right, so it's basically a three-tier system. The U.S. and its allies get unrestricted access to these powerful chips. Countries already under arms embargoes, like China and Russia, they remain blocked. And everyone else, they're facing import caps, meaning they can only buy a limited number of AI chips, unless they work out some kind of special deal with the U.S. government.
So pretty significant move. What's the reasoning behind it?
Well, the administration is framing it as a national security measure. They want to prevent adversaries from getting their hands on advanced AI tech that could be used, for military applications or cyber attacks. It's all about maintaining U.S. leadership in AI and preventing hostile nations from gaining an edge.
Makes sense. But this has to have some ripple effects throughout the tech world.
Oh, absolutely. Companies like Nvidia, who dominate the AI chip market, well, they're pushing back hard. They're arguing that these restrictions could actually harm U.S. competitiveness by stifling innovation and pushing global buyers towards non-U.S. suppliers, especially those in China. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, on a lighter note, Google is stepping into the world of personalized podcasts with a new Search Labs experiment called Daily Listen.
This is pretty cool. It uses AI to create a short, roughly 5-minute podcast episode each day, summarizing news and topics tailored to your interests. It pulls from your Google Discover and search activity to figure out what you'd be most interested in hearing about.
So basically your own personal AI news digest, delivered straight to your ears. I could see that being pretty useful for people who want to stay up to date, but don't have a lot of time to read or browse.
Exactly. And it taps into this larger trend we're seeing of AI being used to personalize content and make information more easily digestible. Think of it like a supercharged version of those news and brief segments you see on some websites.
Speaking of personalized content, we've got Elon Musk's X Corp releasing their Grok AI chatbot as a standalone iOS app.
And it's completely free, even for users who don't have an X account. So now anyone with an iPhone can access Grok and see what all the fuss is about. Although there are usage limits if you don't have the Premium X subscription.
Grok has already generated a lot of buzz for its unfiltered nature and its tendency to, shall we say, push the boundaries of what's considered acceptable.
Right. There are concerns about its potential to generate offensive or even harmful content, especially since it's now readily available to a wider audience. It'll be interesting to see how X Corp handles the responsibility of keeping Grok in check, so to speak.
Moving on to CES 2025, where Nvidia made a big splash with a whole slew of announcements.
They really came out swinging. They unveiled their Cosmos Foundation models, which use AI to generate synthetic training data for robots and self-driving cars. This could be a game changer for those industries, potentially lowering development costs and accelerating progress significantly.
Synthetic data, so like artificially generated data. How does that work exactly?
Think of it like creating a virtual world where robots and self-driving cars can practice and learn in a safe and controlled environment. This eliminates the need to collect massive amounts of real-world data, which can be expensive and time-consuming.
Okay, so it's like training wheels for AI. Clever. What else did Nvidia have up their sleeve?
Well, they also launched their RTX 50 series gaming chips, which are packed with enhanced AI capabilities. And for all you developers out there, they announced Project iJITS, which is their first desktop computer, specifically designed for AI development. Plus, they snagged a major partnership with Toyota to integrate their Orin chips for advanced driver assistance systems in Toyota's vehicles.
So Nvidia is making some serious moves in multiple sectors, not just gaming.
Exactly. They're really pushing the boundaries of what AI can do, and they're clearly positioning themselves as a leader in this space. They're not the only ones, though. Samsung is also pushing their AI for all vision, integrating AI across their entire ecosystem of devices and services.
I'm seeing a theme here. AI is quickly moving beyond those niche applications and becoming a core part of the consumer tech experience.
Right. Samsung highlighted Knox Matrix, which uses AI to enhance device security. They talked about SmartThings, their platform for creating personalized smart homes. And of course, they're continuing to develop their Bixby voice assistant for more intuitive interactions. Plus, they're using AI to improve everything, from health and fitness tracking to entertainment recommendations.
So AI is becoming less of a separate thing and more of an invisible thread, woven into the fabric of our digital lives.
Exactly. It's no longer just about specific AI products. It's about AI being embedded in all our devices and services, working behind the scenes to make our lives easier, more efficient, and hopefully more enjoyable.
And finally, we had some bold pronouncements. From OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, he expressed confidence in achieving artificial general intelligence, or AGI. He even predicts the integration of AI agents into the workforce as early as this year, significantly impacting company productivity.
This is what everyone's been talking about. Altman claims that OpenAI knows how to build AI systems that can outperform humans in economically valuable tasks. That's a pretty big claim.
What exactly does he mean by AI agents joining the workforce? Are we talking about robots taking over our jobs?
Not necessarily robots in the physical sense, but sophisticated AI systems that can perform a wide range of tasks autonomously, much like a human employee. Think about AI handling data analysis, customer service, even content creation. These agents could potentially boost company productivity and efficiency significantly.
Okay, so maybe not robots taking our jobs, but AI systems changing the nature of work as we know it.
That's the crux of it. It raises a lot of questions about the future of work, the potential for job displacement, and the need to adapt to a rapidly changing economic landscape. Altman has even talked about the potential need for universal basic income as a way to address the economic disruption that AGI could cause.
So some pretty heady stuff to consider. For our deep dives, we're going to zoom in on two of these stories. First, we'll unpack OpenAI's AGI claims and explore their potential implications for the workforce. Then, we'll shift gears to analyze the U.S. government's decision to restrict AI chip exports and discuss its potential global impact.
Those are both fascinating and complex topics. Let's get started.
Let's unpack OpenAI's AGI claims first. Altman's statement. We believe that in 2025, we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and materially change the output of companies. Certainly raise some eyebrows. What exactly does he mean by AI agents in this context?
He's talking about sophisticated AI systems that can function much like a human employee would, carrying out tasks autonomously. Imagine AI taking on roles like data analysis, customer service, even content creation, all while potentially boosting company productivity. It's not just about chatbots getting better at conversation. It's about AI taking on real work within organizations.
That raises a lot of questions, though. How would this actually work in practice? What kinds of jobs are we talking about?
Well, think about tasks that are repetitive, involve lots of data processing, or require pulling information from multiple sources. These are the kinds of tasks that AI excels at. So you might see AI agents taking over roles like customer service representatives, data entry clerks, or even certain types of financial analysts.
So it's not just blue-collar jobs that are potentially affected. It seems like white-collar jobs, especially those in the information economy, could be significantly impacted as well.
Absolutely. And this is where Altman's prediction about the need for universal basic income comes into play. If AI leads to widespread job displacement, how do we ensure that people have access to basic economic security? It's a complex societal challenge that we'll need to address.
It's a bit unsettling to think about, but it's important to have these conversations now so we can be prepared for the future.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that AI could also create new jobs and opportunities that we can't even imagine yet.
Right. Historically, technological advancements have often led to the creation of entirely new industries and job categories. The key will be to adapt our education and training system so people have the skills they need to thrive in this new AI-powered world.
It's a reminder that we have some control over how this all unfolds. It's not just about passively accepting whatever AI throws our way. We can make choices about how we develop and deploy these technologies, and we need to consider the ethical and societal implications along the way. Speaking of global implications, let's shift gears and discuss the U.S. government's decision to restrict AI chip exports. What are the potential consequences of this move?
Well, it's creating some clear winners and losers on the global stage. The U.S. and its close allies, those in the first tier, will likely benefit in the short term. They have unrestricted access to the most advanced AI chips, which gives them a head start in developing and deploying cutting-edge AI systems.
But as we discussed earlier, companies like Nvidia are concerned that this approach could backfire. Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. By restricting access to its technology, the U.S. risks alienating other countries and driving them to seek alternative sources for AI chips.
So this could actually accelerate the development of non-US AI ecosystems, especially in China. They've been investing heavily in their domestic chip industry, and these restrictions might push them to double down on those efforts.
Exactly. And it's not just China. Other countries, particularly those in the third tier facing import caps, might start looking to suppliers outside the U.S., potentially leading to a more fragmented global AI landscape. Instead of maintaining U.S. dominance in AI, these restrictions could contribute to a multipolar world where AI power is more evenly distributed.
It seems like a classic case of economic interests clashing with national security concerns. It'll be fascinating to see how this all plays out in the long run.
Agreed. It highlights the complexity of navigating technological advancement, economic competition, and geopolitical strategy in a globalized world. Speaking of complex issues, let's circle back to OpenAI and their AGI claims for a moment. What are some potential downsides of achieving AGI, even if it's realized, according to OpenAI's vision?
That's a great question. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of AGI, but we need to be realistic about the potential risks as well.
Of course. Like any powerful technology, AGI has inherent risks that we need to consider carefully. One concern is the potential for unintended consequences. We're talking about creating AI systems that are potentially more intelligent than humans. How can we ensure that they align with our values and goals? How can we prevent them from acting in ways that could harm us?
It sounds a bit like those science fiction scenarios where AI turns on its creators. But even if we set aside those more dramatic possibilities, there are still some subtle but significant risks to consider, right?
Absolutely. One concern is bias. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they can perpetuate and even amplify those biases, leading to unfair or harmful outcomes. We've already seen examples of this with facial recognition systems and algorithms used in hiring. Imagine those biases magnified on a larger scale with AGI.
That's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
It highlights the need to be extremely careful and thoughtful about how we develop and deploy these technologies. We need to have clear ethical guidelines and robust regulatory frameworks in place to ensure that AI is used responsibly and for the benefit of all humanity.
I completely agree. We need to remember that technology is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits society as a whole.
On a more positive note, let's talk about some of the potential benefits of AGI, assuming we can manage those risks effectively.
The potential upside is enormous. Imagine AI systems that could help us solve some of the world's most pressing problems, from climate change to disease to poverty. AI could help design sustainable energy solutions, develop life-saving medical treatments, or create more equitable economic systems.
It's an inspiring vision of a future where AI empowers us to create a better world.
Exactly. The pursuit of AGI should be driven by a desire to improve the human condition, not just to achieve technological supremacy or maximize profits.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on Google's Daily Listen personalized podcast experiment. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
I think it's a clever use of AI to create a more personalized and engaging audio experience. Imagine starting your day with a short podcast that summarizes the news you care about most, all delivered in a concise and engaging way. It could change how people consume information.
It definitely plays into the growing trend of on-demand and personalized content. Plus, audio is a powerful medium. Sometimes it's just easier and more convenient to listen to information than to read it, especially when you're busy or on the go.
Absolutely. Audio is a powerful way to connect with people and share information. And AI is creating new possibilities for crafting personalized and engaging audio experiences.
Speaking of AI and engagement, Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok is now available as a free standalone iOS app. It's already generated a lot of buzz, but do you think it has staying power? Or is it just a passing fad?
It's hard to say for sure, but it'll be interesting to watch. Grok's unfiltered and often unpredictable nature could be its biggest strength and its biggest weakness. It might attract users who are looking for a more irreverent and entertaining AI companion, but it could also lead to controversy and pushback, especially if it generates offensive or harmful content.
It seems like X-Corp will need to walk a tightrope between allowing for creative freedom and ensuring that Grok doesn't become a platform for hate speech or other harmful content.
It's a challenge that many social media companies are already facing, and it becomes even more complex when you introduce AI into the equation.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from AGI and its implications for the workforce to the geopolitics of AI chips, personalized podcasts, and unfiltered AI chatbots. It's clear that the world of AI is rapidly evolving, and it's impacting virtually every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, it really feels like we're living through a technological revolution, you know? It is. It is. The pace of innovation in AI, it's just incredible. It seems that every week we get news of some groundbreaking development or some, thought-provoking new application.
Yeah, and it's easy to get caught up in all the
Yeah.
hype, the gee whiz factor of all this new tech. But we need to be asking those tough questions about the ethical implications,
Yeah.
the potential downsides, the long-term consequences, of all these advancements.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly and that it benefits society as a whole, not just a select few. And that requires a collaborative effort. It's not just about the technologists or policymakers. It's about everyone having a seat at the table and engaging in these critical conversations.
It's about making sure that AI reflects our shared values and helps us create a future that we can all be proud of. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. We've talked about OpenAI's vision of AGI, the U.S. government's attempts to control AI chip technology, the potential benefits and risks of these advancements, and even the more whimsical side of AI, with things like personalized podcasts and unfiltered chatbots. But what role do we as individuals play in all this? How can we shape the future of AI? That is the question we should all be asking ourselves. It's easy to feel like we're just passengers on this, technological roller coaster, but we're not. Each of us has a role to play. Absolutely. Whether it's staying informed about the latest development, engaging in discussions about the ethical implications, or simply making conscious choices about how we use AI in our own lives, we all have a part to play in shaping this future.
The future of AI is not predetermined. It's a tapestry woven from the choices we make today. And those choices are ultimately in our hands.
That's a really powerful way to put it. It's a reminder that we have agency, we have a voice, and we can make a difference. So as we sign off for another episode of AI Weekly, we encourage you to stay curious, stay engaged, and stay informed. The AI revolution is happening, and it's up to all of us to ensure that it leads to a brighter future for humanity.
Thanks for joining us. And be sure to tune in next week for another deep dive into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence.